name is Haley, aka Haley's Hobbies, and welcome back to my channel where I talk about my hobbies. Hello, hi. So in today's video, I thought we could do a reading vlog. I don't think I've done like an actual reading vlog in quite some time. I have no obligations anymore. I completed my master's. I graduated this past weekend. I have a vlog that is already up if you'd like to watch kind of like the last couple of weeks of my master's and me graduating. I've finished all my PhD applications and I'm off of work for the next 2 weeks, so I'm officially a free woman, which means I have so much time to do stuff. I really want to be like knitting and stuff, but I actually like hurt my back and the pain is like radiating down my like arm. I think I have like a pinched nerve or something. It's getting better, but it has been bothering me for like 2 weeks at this point, but it is getting better. And so I don't really want to knit and like aggravate the pain, so we're doing a lot of reading. So I thought we could read, of course, in this vlog. I really wanted to decorate my Kindle because I got a clear case for the back of it, but it was the wrong size, even though I checked to make sure that it was right. And so now I'm like, maybe we won't decorate it. And I also, one thing that I really wanted to do in this video was organize my bookshelf. I think I kind of want to like switch it up. I feel like I've had this set up for like a year and a half now, maybe a year-ish, I don't know, whenever I moved back home, and I feel like I'm ready to kind of move things around. I've gotten a lot of new books lately, and so I kind of just want to, I don't know, update it, I guess. I'm just kind of in the mood to redo it. I also need to dust these like desperately, so that'll give me time to do that. I also want to do some book journaling. I'm finishing up this book journal and I'm doing like the last couple spreads. I've been doing like a monthly fave spread and my mom is letting me use her printer, so I've been able to print out these little book covers and it makes me so happy. But yeah, let's get into what I'm reading currently. So I just finished on my Kindle A Treacherous Curse by Deanna Raybourn. I love that book. I gave it 5 stars. I have been loving the Veronica Speedwell series. I think they're so fun and I feel like they're just getting better and better. So I read A Treacherous Curse and I put in a hold for A Perilous Undertaking. No. What's the 4th one? I can't remember what the 4th one is called. The Perilous Undertaking I think is the 2nd one. I don't know what the 4th book is called, but I put in a hold for that, so hopefully that comes in soon. It is going to be a bit of a wait though, which is kind of sad. Yeah, oh, I also recently finished Cruel Winter with You by Ali Hazelwood. It's her like novella for winter that like Kindle Unlimited did. I have a 3-month free, or well, 99 cents like trial kind of thing for Kindle Unlimited. I figured that'd be good because I am on break, so I might be reading a bit more. And so I tried out the novella and it was okay. I mean, it's a novella, so there's not really much, I can't really talk much about, I feel like, the characters and stuff because you only have 70 pages to get through all of this stuff, you know? So yeah, and then let's see. Oh, I was gonna tell y'all what books I'm reading. So I have 2 books that I'm currently reading. The first one is A Merry Little Meet Cute by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone. Me and my mom exchanged like Christmas books on December 1st to read, and this is the one that she picked for me. I picked The Christmas Tree Farm for my mom. And so this one is about Bea Hobbs, who is a plus-sized adult film star, and she ends up getting roped into doing like this like movie for like basically Hallmark, but like it's called the Hope Channel, and so they're very squeaky clean is what the author uses. And so Bea is like, no one can figure out about my job, you know? And so then there's also Nolan Shaw, who's the ex-boy band member who reminds me of Hardin from Ever After, which is Harry Styles. But like I keep picturing the actor who plays Hardin as Nolan. And so he's kind of a bit of a bad boy, or has like a bad boy image, and he's trying to like get back on track with his life and everything after his manager basically stole all of his money. And so they both get into this movie and they're both trying to like keep it PG basically, but in between all of the scenes and everything, they're they're going at it, and yeah, and so apparently there's going to be a reporter who's coming in soon to kind of snoop around. I'm about halfway through. We haven't gotten to the reporter yet. It's on the back cover, so it's not really a spoiler. I always thought it sounded cute, and I was so jealous when my mom bought it for herself to read, and I was like, please, can you let me borrow this book? And then she wouldn't let me borrow it, and I don't know what she did with it, but she gave me the book for our little Christmas book reading, which is really exciting. So yeah, I'm about halfway through. I've taken a bit of a break on this because I was out of town this past weekend for graduation, but now we're back here and I kind of want to finish this weekend. I figured I'd film a few days of reading, so that's the first book on the agenda to finish. And then the second book that I think I kind of want to finish this weekend is Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. So I didn't know much about this going into it. This is the last Jane Austen that I need to read before finishing all of her main novels, and it was on my 2024 TBR actually. It's also on my winter TBR too. So killing two birds with one stone. So I'm about halfway through, if you can see, and I have page flags for every 50 pages. And what I've been doing is listening to this with an audiobook because I was having such a hard time getting into it. And so sometimes when I have troubles with classics, I will find the audiobook on YouTube if I can and read with the audiobook, and it's really helpful. And so far I've been enjoying it. You can see my tabs. I really like Fanny. She's our main character, and she's very shy, doesn't have a lot of confidence, and she is in love with her cousin because of course it's always a cousin. His name is Edmund. She loves him, and like he's her best friend, and then a few other people come into town, and all of a sudden Edmund is obsessed with this one girl, and Fanny's like, no, you know. And so there's just like drama and everything, and apparently someone is gonna start making advances towards her, and Edmund's like, you should be with that person. I don't know who that is yet. I'm assuming we'll get into it soon. And then a bad situation can become much worse. Don't know what that means. I really like Jane Austen because I find her to be pretty funny, but there's like parts where characters will just say something so funny that kind of really shows like how out of touch they are with things, and so I think that's really funny. And then I just feel for Fanny so much because it's kind of like a Cinderella situation. She's Cinderella and she has like the older members of the family. She's from a different family, but she goes to live with her cousins, and so that's how she falls in love with Edmund. And she has like two older sister cousins, so they're just awful to her. Everyone is just so mean to her. Edmund's really the only nice person to her, and so I just feel so bad for Fanny. But I am really enjoying it. I have about half of it left, and I kind of want to finish it this weekend as well. I really want to finish this up before the new year. So that is the TBR for the video. We'll see if I can finish these two this weekend. Today is Thursday, and so I have until I'd like to finish these books by like Sunday. Anyway, I'm gonna finish watching this YouTube video. I got AirPods Max for graduation. My brother gave me $100, and then these were $200 off, or on sale. No, $200 off for whatever reason. So I got these for a very affordable price, but I'm doing like the payment plan each month, so that way I'm only paying like $30 a month. This is like the biggest tech purchase I've ever gotten, but y'all know I use these all the time, but they are having connection problems, and so it's been really hard to get these to work and they're starting to really wear and tear. So these are now my backup headphones, which I feel like so stupid saying because these are very expensive headphones. Also, my ex got them for me and I never gave them back, and he's never asked for them back, so he is not getting them back. So these I'm just gonna keep as a backup or a gym headphone kind of thing. And then these are my main headphones. I'm also obsessed because they're green. I redid my bookshelf. I don't know if I like it. I feel like the last iteration of this was really cutely decorated, but this version does not feel as cutely decorated. I don't know, I feel like I'm missing a lot of stuff. I feel like maybe this is too much. Does that look better? But yeah, I mean, I like it, but also I don't like it at the same time. And I don't know why. I'm just gonna leave it though, because this is taking me an hour and a half. So I read a bit of Mansfield Park, and it's things are happening. The person who is interested in Fanny now is kind of coming into play. And when I tell you, when I heard this character say, I'm gonna go after her, I was like, excuse you, sir. Even though Fanny and Edmund are cousins, I am rooting for them. I have to like put that, like, it would be easier to like forget about that if they weren't saying like, oh, cousin, like every 5 seconds, you know? So yeah, I realized that was like a thing at the times, but yeah, it's hard to get past. But anyway, I also added more tabs. I kind of do this every like 50 to 100 pages, as opposed to like while I'm reading, because I feel like it gets too fiddly with the highlighters and everything. But yeah, really enjoying it so far. So it is now 10:45. This is like the latest I've stayed up in a while. I think the last time I stayed up a bit later was like when I turned in my thesis, and I just wanted to get it done, so I turned it in like almost at midnight, even though I had time to turn it in later. But anyway, I am starting to get a little tired, but I am having a lot of fun reading. I read another 50 pages of Mansfield Park. I am getting close to being done. I have about 138 pages, I think, left. I'm loving this. I'm so confused why people don't like this, because I feel like this is the one I always see people say that they don't like out of all of the Austens, at least like in the few, I don't know, reviews I've read and kind of some book people I watch and whatnot. They don't really speak highly of Mansfield Park. And I don't know why, because I'm loving it. Like, I love Fanny, and I just feel so, like, sad for her a lot of the time, how she gets, like, walked over all of the time. And especially now, this might be kind of a spoiler, but she gets, if you don't want to hear this, I would just, like, skip a little bit ahead. But she gets a marriage proposal to some guy that she just really does not want to be married to, and she tells this guy, hey, I really, like, you're not gonna make me happy, I'm not gonna make you happy, I'm never gonna love you. And he just keeps like trying to marry, like keep proposing and everything, and telling her that he loves her so much, and da-da-da-da-da, and she's like, this is like, if I marry you, that is like the most miserable thing I can think of in my entire life. I can't think of a way I would be more unhappy. Like, marrying you, I would be the unhappiest. And so I'm like, girl, you tell him. But then everyone in her life is like, why are you turning this down? He's like above your station and he wants to marry you. Like, he has good money, he looks good, da, 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 da. Like, why are you saying no? And it's because she loves her cousin. But her cousin really is the only person who like knows her, other than her brother, of course. I kind of relate a lot to Fanny, because like they're like, why aren't you marrying this person? And like right now, a lot of what I'm getting in my life is like, why aren't you like seeing someone? Why aren't you dating anybody? Like, when are you getting married? And like, I overheard a conversation my grandma was having with one of her friends, and her friend was so concerned that I was 24 and I don't have a partner. And I was like, are you kidding? That's the thing you're concerned about? Like, I have no desire to have a partner right now. I might have mentioned this in my last video, I don't know. But like, I have no desire to be with anyone right now, let alone like get married. I feel like a child bride if I were to get married now. It's like kind of annoying, but I'm like relating to Fanny a lot in that way, just like everyone's pressuring her to like go through with these decisions, and she does like want to get married because she does love someone, so like that's like kind of how we differ, but like I just really understand like what she's going through with like pressure from like society and from family and stuff. Not really my family, but like, you know, friends of the family and stuff. Anyway, so I am really loving this. Still confused why some people don't. I think it's even the lowest like rated on Goodreads. My least favorite Jane Austen so far has been Northanger Abbey. Maybe I just read it like too quickly and I need to like reread it, but yeah, I wasn't a fan of that one as much, which kind of sucked. Like, I did like it, but like when I compare it to the other Austens that I've read, that one is like at the bottom for sure. Good morning, everyone. So I have filmed like 1,000,001 videos. I say 1,000,001, it's been 2. I filmed my reading wrap up and I filmed my 2025 reading journal setup, which was a lot of fun. Have I done any updates? I have no clue. I don't think I have. So Merry Little Meet Cute is still in the same place, haven't touched it. And then I am almost done with Mansfield Park. I have less than 100 pages. I think I have 80. I think that's 80 pages I have left. So I'm really excited to finish it up. I have still been loving it. I think it's such a good story, and I'm so excited to read the Goodreads reviews because I really want to know why people don't like this book. I think it's just because Fanny gets like walked over a lot and she's really shy and just doesn't have any confidence really. I'm getting really annoyed at the guy who is wanting to marry Fanny though. He's getting on my last nerve, and everyone is getting on my nerve. Fanny just does not have a place where she feels like she belongs and she feels like she's loved, and she keeps like talking about how much she loves like her like cousin's family where she lives, you know, and like I hate that family. So like to me it feels like she has nowhere to go, but she sees them as like people who actually love her. And like if you kind of read into it, yeah, they definitely do like love her more, if that makes sense. I don't know, because she's kind of with her own family right now who she never really is with, and like no one is like paying attention to her. Like her dad didn't even notice that she was there when she came home. Like he was like, oh, hello, and then went to talking back to the son, you know. And so she just doesn't really have a place, and so now she misses like being with her cousins because now she's like, oh, actually they do care for me, like in their own way. And I'm like, girl, you don't owe anybody shit. I am excited to finish this up. I think I'm gonna try and finish it today, and that'll be one book down for the reading vlog, which is a lot of fun. And then maybe I'll try and finish up Merry Little Meet Cute by tomorrow. Oh, that's hot. Hello everyone. So this Sunday, I didn't read any of Mansfield Park yesterday. I was planning on finishing it, but I was just like really tired all of a sudden, and so I just went to bed. I read a bit of Fearless in Texas yesterday. I went for a walk, and I'm loving it so far. It's a lot of fun. I'm about 40% of the way through, so later when it gets a bit warmer, I'm gonna go on a walk again and listen to it. But right now, I want to finish Mansfield Park. I have like 80 pages left, and I don't know how long that is for the audiobook. Let's see. Under 3 hours, and so if I listen to it at 1 point, or at 2 times speed, it'll be about an hour and a half left. And like, I could definitely read 80 pages faster than that if I didn't use the audio, but I've kind of liked the audio. Yeah, I'm so curious to see how this is gonna end up, because Fanny and Edmund are like, seem to be like the end game here, but Edmund is currently like obsessed with Mary Crawford, and so I'm just curious to see how this will end up. Like, I think Edmund and like Mary just do not get along, and like Edmund wants to be like a clergyman, and Mary like thinks that is like a horrible job and just is like, it's useless, it has no purpose, like why are you doing this? But like, he still loves her. I think he needs to like understand, like, I don't know, I think it's gonna be one of those things where he didn't realize, you know, Fanny was there until it's almost too late, you know, how that usually works with friend romances. But yes, anyway, I'm gonna finish it. I also love how the tabs are turning out, because I've like matched them to the cover, and I think they just look so fun. So I'm excited to continue reading. Hello everyone. So it is getting late. It is 7:30, and so I made myself a cup of tea, which it's so late I shouldn't be doing this, but I wanted to stay up late and read, so I made myself a cup of tea. I printed out some book covers so that I can do some book journaling, and I wanted to update y'all on my books and everything. So I went on another walk today, and I got about 60% of the way through Tangled in Texas. I'm just having a fun time with this book. I love this series. I've really enjoyed the first and the third book, because I started actually with the third book, because I was like, I'm not gonna continue to read this, I'll just read this one. And then I was like, actually, I really like this, I'm gonna go back and read the first one. And so now I'm reading the second book, and it's just so fun. And I love Tori and Delon. I wanted to call him Declan at the beginning of the book. His name is Delon, and I just love them. It's kind of like a second chance romance of sorts, because they kind of had a fling like 7 or 8 years ago, and now they're kind of back in each other's paths. Delon hurt his knee. He's like a what's it called? The horses that buck a lot, what are they called? I don't know. He's a bareback? Brokeback Mountain. He rides the horses that like buck a lot. I feel like I should know this because I'm a Texan, but anyway, I can't think of what they are right now. It's late. But he is a horse rider and tries to stay on the horse. And he had a really bad accident in the first book, and so this book kind of follows him kind of dealing with the accident and kind of just getting back to where he was. And Tori is kind of just escaping some things from her past, and her dad's actually like a big political figure, so she's just trying to keep a low profile and just trying to get away from all these people who are like obsessed with her because of her dad, basically. And so fate throws them in each other's paths again, because the physical therapist that Delon goes to see is none other than Tori. So very cute. I love second chance kind of romances is what I've discovered. I just think they're so fun. But yeah, so having done with that, have I made progress with the Merry Little Meet Cute? No, I have not, but that will be for tonight with my reading. And I finished Mansfield Park. I wanted to talk with y'all after I finished it, but I kind of just wanted to sit with my thoughts about this, sit with my thoughts regarding this, because I just was not, I read it and I was just kind of like, what the heck just happened? So yeah, I went on my walk, I read my other book, and now we're here. You can see all my pretty tabs, and I did really love this. I think this is so good, and I wish more people liked it, but I can understand why people don't. Fanny is a very introverted character, doesn't have a lot of confidence in herself, and just does not, like, her family situation isn't very great. She doesn't really feel welcome anywhere. She doesn't feel like she has a home. She feels like no one really cares for her, and she just kind of blends into the background. She's just a wallflower. She lives with her cousins, 2 sisters and a brother. The brother's name is Edmund. She loves Edmund. She has always been in love with Edmund. And one day, Henry and Mary Crawford, who are 2 siblings, they come into town and kind of just screw things up with the sisters, with the brother. And so all of a sudden, this life that Fanny, you know, has is just kind of becoming really hectic, with Mary and Henry being in it. And at some point in the novel, she actually does go back to visit her family, and she kind of realizes how good she has it at Mansfield Park, and realizes that actually no, she is like cared for at Mansfield Park, and she is like thought about and everything. Whereas like at her family's house, who she hasn't seen in like years, like she's never really been back there since she left, I think when she was like 10 or something. Yeah, she realizes that like her place is at Mansfield Park, and that her home that is like should be her home is not her home anymore. I really loved that like kind of little bit of the story, just kind of realizing where her place was in the world, and realizing that she is loved and accepted by her friends and family, not like most related family, but like her cousin family. And then yeah, I also just loved like the relationships in this book, like the things that happen between all the characters. I think Jane Austen is so good at making you hate like particular characters, like Miss Norris. If I see her, it's on sight. She can go F herself. I don't care. What I loved about this book in particular is that she takes one character who is kind of really annoying, and like kind of in the last 100 pages makes you really like them, and then in the last like 20 pages makes you hate them again. And I was just like, girl, you're like having me root for this character and like this particular romance, and then you're like, nope, never mind, take that back. I did really enjoy it. That being said, this is not like how do I say this, like this wonderful like romance, I guess. I was like expecting romances like in, you know, Persuasion. Jane Austen has this tendency to like in the last 20 pages just resolve everything, and within the last 10 pages like give you the romance. And for some of the books it works, like Persuasion is one of my favorite Jane Austen books, and I think that works because it is a second chance romance, and so like you already have all this build up anyway. But then in some cases I think it's really detrimental to the story, and in that case I think it is evident with Mansfield Park, because the one character that Fanny ends up with spends the entire book pining after a different character. It gets to the point where he sends her a letter and is like, Fanny, I'm like never gonna love anybody ever again. Like this person was it for me. I'm never gonna think of anybody else in this way. I cannot give her up, Fanny. She's the only woman in the world whom I could ever think of as a wife. And then like even as not as a wife, like he will never like stop thinking about her. In the last like 20 or 30 pages, she kind of like wrecks all of that, Jane Austen. She kind of is like, actually this isn't gonna happen. And then in the last 4 pages, Fanny ends up with the person she's gonna end up with. Yeah, that character just kind of, yeah, literally within the last like well, in this edition, in the last 3 pages, is like, maybe I should start liking Fanny. And so that's kind of the thing that, like, I feel like Jane Austen kind of, like, she literally says in the beginning of the last chapter, let other pens dwell on guilt and misery. I quit such odious subjects as soon as I can, impatient to restore everybody, not greatly in fault themselves, to tolerable comfort, and to have done with all the rest. And so she literally says that she doesn't want to keep talking about all these sad things, and she just wants to wrap it up. And I'm like, girl, like, you could write another 100 pages and I would still be reading this. We don't need to wrap it up. We can drag it out a tiny bit and then plant more seeds about this romance. Like, why are we talking about the romance in the last 3 pages of the book? So yeah, kind of a little disappointing in that aspect, but I think the book is still really good. And if you go into it with the mindset that it's not like gonna be this like epic romance, and it's more about like kind of, I think someone in Goodreads said it was something about like morals and like, I can't remember what it was, but like just kind of like the comparison of like how you can be raised, I guess, I think is what they were saying. And like also, well, yeah, morals, like what someone considers like good or bad, and like what they, you know, what their like moral compass is and stuff, and kind of an exploration with that, and kind of what happens to characters who maybe don't have the best intentions and everything. And so in that case, I really loved it, and I just had so much fun reading it. Romance was a bit of a letdown, but like I said, still loved the rest of it. So I think what I'm gonna do is settle on like a 4.25, I think, because I feel like that's a pretty good like rating. That feels right. Because of the romance, it's not a 5-star, and so normally I would give it like a 4.5 star, but that feels too high, and a 4 feels too low. So I think I'm gonna settle on a 4.25. Very happy that I read this. This was actually on my 2024 TBR, so I can cross that off and I can fill out my book journal. I also have a bit of a sneak peek. I have a classics kind of spread that I'm working on, because I have my little like classics book club that I do for myself, where I challenge myself to read like a certain amount of classics each year. I started it last year, so I think last year I read 6 classics, and then this year I read 4. I think it would have been a bit more had I not spent so much time on the Count of Monte Cristo, but this year it was just 4. And so I've been writing my reviews, and now I can finally write the Mansfield Park one. And I printed out a bunch of book covers that I wanted to write about. Good morning, everyone. So it is December 23rd, and it's my dog's birthday, so comment happy birthday for my dog. I'm gonna be watching a YouTube video. Katie is reading, who is like one of my favorite booktubers. She uploaded a 24-hour readathon, so I'm really excited to watch that. And then after that, I'm gonna be finishing A Merry Little Meet Cute. I have about 100 or so pages left, maybe like 120 maybe. I ended up adding sticky tabs just to make it a bit easier to like see where I'm at. And so I read 100 pages last night and I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's just a fun time. The like reporter that's supposed to be poking around has finally come through. He's annoying, of course. And then the two main characters have kind of decided that they would like to give their relationship a shot, but they're trying to figure out like how that would work because Nolan, the main guy character, is trying to keep like a really squeaky clean image and like, you know, make money to support his family and everything. And B is a porn star. She's also wanting to transition into like the, you know, typical like film industry. And so they're trying to figure out how this would like work with, you know, her past and his past and whatnot. I have this bookmark and it's the Antisocial Book Club bookmark. I love this one. I got it at my city fair. Yeah, very cute. Okay, hello everyone. I have a few minutes before my sister gets here to give my puppies, well, our puppies, the pup cup because it's Winnie's birthday. I finished A Merry Little Meet Cute. This was so fun. I think I'm gonna give it like 4.25 stars. It doesn't feel like a 4.5 and it doesn't feel like a 4, so it feels like a 4.25. This was just a lot of fun. Enjoyment wise, I'd give it like a 10 out of 10. It was just so fun and I thought the characters were great. I liked the storyline and everything. And yeah, I just had like a great time. I even thought it was very humorous at times. One part that I didn't like was that the characters were like kind of already wanting to get married and they'd only known each other for 2 weeks. I'm not like a big insta-lovey kind of person, especially when it's like in contemporary romances like these where they've known each other for 2 weeks and they want to get married. I'm not really too obsessed with that. They don't get married, by the way, if that'll annoy you, but like there are like thoughts about it and stuff. I liked that the third act conflict wasn't like miscommunication, but I wasn't too obsessed with the conflict because I hate when characters say one thing and then like do another thing. So like they say that they like love this thing or they accept it or whatever, and then they go and like condemn that. And so I wasn't too obsessed with the conflict. I don't know if I would have forgiven the character after that, but overall I really enjoyed it, and B and Nolan are super cute. And so I'm really curious to read the next book in the series. It's called A Holly Jolly Ever After, and I think it's gonna maybe be Callum, because there are 3 members of this boy group, and I'm thinking that like each book is going to follow a member. So I think the next one's going to be Callum. There's also Isaac, but I don't think he's ready for like a book, and he wasn't really in this book a whole lot, so I think he'll get a bit more in the next book, and then we'll see him for the 3rd book. If there is a 3rd book, I have no clue actually, but yeah, so I'm gonna look and see what's in the 2nd book. Yeah, I'm glad to have that done. I've read so many books this month, it's kind of ridiculous, but I'm gonna fill out my book journal. Okay, hello everyone. So I think we're gonna do a bit of a wrap-up. Because whenever I watch reading vlogs, they always do a wrap-up at the end of the video. It is getting late, the sun is about to set, and so you can see my lamp in my glasses. I do apologize. But yeah, let's talk about the books that I read during this vlog. I finished 2 books and got about 60% of the way through a 3rd book. So the first book that I finished, of course, as you'll know, is Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. I really enjoyed this. It doesn't really have like this epic love story with this epic love story ending. I feel like Jane Austen is really well known for like her letters, especially if you've read like Persuasion. The letter at the end of the book is like a thing of beauty. But when I got to like the letter at the end of this book, I was so excited, and then it really wasn't what I was hoping for. If you know, you know. So this book really isn't like, doesn't have this like epic love story ending, but I loved every other aspect of this book. I loved the characters, even the ones that I hated. I just loved how Jane Austen can like make you hate someone so much. I adore Fanny. I think she's wonderful, and she's definitely like one of the introverted Jane Austen characters. And yeah, so overall, just really enjoyed it. I love all my tabs, and I'm so happy that I finally finished the last novel that I have of Jane Austen's main novels. So good. Okay, and then I finished today A Merry Little Meet Cute by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone. So this was a really fun story. Overall, just a really good time. I really liked the dynamic between the two characters. I feel like this could have gotten pretty creepy like pretty fast, because the guy main character is the like subscriber to the girl main character's like it's called Closed Door. It's basically OnlyFans. He is like a premium subscriber, so I feel like it could have gotten kind of creepy, but he seemed to like understand like the difference between like her and like her adult film star persona. I thought the two characters are really cute, and I really liked the story, and I'm excited for the next books. There's 2 more. And so yeah, I'm thinking maybe I'll pick up the second book for next Christmas, and then maybe we can read for the next 2 years this series. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And then last but not least, on my Kindle, I got 60% of the way through Tangled in Texas by Carrie Landell. Is it Tangled in Texas? Yeah, no. Fearless, Reckless, Tougher. I think it's Tangled in Texas. You can hear my dog. My mom and my sister are talking in my mom's room, and my dog doesn't like to be left alone. Yes, I've been really enjoying this book so far. I really love this series. I think it's so fun. Cowboy romances, I decided to take... I promise my dog is okay. She just likes attention. And everyone is home right now, so she's like, why aren't y'all giving me attention? But yes, I have become a sucker for cowboy romances, I think. These are the only cowboy romances I've read. Actually, that's a lie. I read A Cowboy Firefighter for Christmas last Christmas, and it was not good, so that kind of sucked. But I'm so happy that I found the Texas Rodeo series. I'm pointing to the first book over here. Love it, so much fun, and I'm really enjoying hearing about Delon and Tori, and I can't wait to see how everything resolves. And yeah, maybe I'll finish it up tomorrow. I have nothing to do, so maybe I'll finish it up tonight and tomorrow. I do need to edit though. I have a lot to edit, so. Anyway, so that's everything that I read. Not too much, although I feel like these are pretty big books. And yeah, just a weekend of reading. I'm having so much fun reading because I am off of school and off of work. I have read so much, oh my gosh. So far I have read 7 books and 1 novella. So yeah, and I still have a week and like 2 days left of December, which is kind of nuts. I've never read, I don't think, this many books in a month. So I'm having just a blast, and I can't wait to see what else I'll be reading for the rest of the year. And yeah, anyway, so I think that's everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading vlog. I haven't done one in a while, and I just really wanted to do one. I find they're some of my favorite content to watch, and so I really wanted to try and do one of my own. So let me know if you guys like this kind of content, and maybe I'll try and do like a reading vlog every month or something, especially now that like I'm off of school and I'm just working. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!